It's another episode.
What is up, y'all? This is another, I don't know if you want to call it, episode of the Blended House series that we have going on the De'Aris and Angel channel. We are giving relationship advice, blended household advice. It should help any family. So we have some questions today that I have no clue what they are. It's my husband again asking me questions. So we will give it to him. Oh, he has lip gloss on his lips. You took off my lip gloss off.
Oh, I'm sorry. So today we have 10 questions to ask to go deep in your relationship. So I'm guessing this is like when you're already in an established relationship, not your starting one. Or maybe, you know what?
10 questions what?
That you ask one another so you can go deep in your relationship. Okay?
So are you going to give an answer too? We'll see. We'll see how the questions
go. Depends on how I feel. Number one. You know what, y'all? Let me rephrase all this. These are 10 questions a man should be asking his wife, spouse. So, after I read this first question, I forgot when I was reading these. This is how we as men can better our relationship with our wives. Alright?
Okay.
If y'all seen our first video, then y'all know that we're talking about what women want and need, and this kind of seems like it's expounding on that. So,
that was the second video.
Whichever one. Watch the video.
Okay.
Question for your wife when y'all wake up in the morning, or maybe just throughout the day. Is there anything I can do for you in this moment to help you feel more comfortable or loved?
Huh? You're asking me.
It wasn't a direct question between us. It's just something that they say. Would you like to read the questions? Would you like to look at them?
So, 10 questions to ask to go deep in your relationship. Is there anything? Oh, it's kind of like a book I read.
Okay. So what do they mean by that?
They just mean a book that I read. It was, I think, A Wife After God's Own Heart. There's a woman after God's own heart and a wife after God's own heart. Ooh, sorry. There's a woman after God's own heart and a wife after God's own heart. And I read this book and it said you should ask like your man in the morning, like, is there anything that I can do to make your day go better? I tried to do that with my husband like a while ago. I don't even know if he remembers, but I used to ask him in the morning. Every now and then I might ask him, but he always tells me no. So I stopped asking. But that, if y'all go back to the second video, this is what I mean, allowing your wife to help you. But
alright, so here, I want you to go ahead and answer that if you can. Is there anything I can do at this moment to make you feel more comfortable or loved? Sorry to put you on the spot.
To be more comfortable or loved, be consistent with those kids doing their chores at 8 o'clock so that I do not have to come in. He's been off for a few days, and it's like my morning routine is dropping them off at school and stuff, and then doing their chores that they were supposed to do the night before, which I am very happy that my husband allowed me to only work like 2 days out of the week or whatever, and soon I'll probably just stop. But it will help me so that I can do my YouTube videos, because we have several channels going on, is to get them kids to do their chores. That's what I ask.
I got you.
And help me with the baby at night.
My little board I got up to help with my notes. I'm gonna put that on there.
Which he's really, really good with the baby. Like I've been blessed to have our daughter with him, because after like the first week after we got in an argument, because we were arguing on which one was gonna wake up, meaning we were wanting to wake up and arguing with each other for not allowing each other to wake
that was just something I was used to doing,
and that was something I was used to doing, and I enjoyed doing, but I finally let him, and the whole time
so number
he
2,
woke up to her.
I think this one you kind of answered it just now. How can I better support you in your life?
Support me?
Yes. I think you already answered it when you said, cutting down your normal work day.
He did that, yeah.
And I think men, we have to take that very serious. If you're going to ask your spouse that, because they might want your support in something that you don't feel like they're good at. They might be like, I want to become a chef. And you might be like, yo, cooking ain't the greatest. But if she wants to go to school for that, and that's something she really loves and enjoys, if you support her and you encourage her, she can do it.
Because trust me, your girl supports you in things that you might not know.
Yes. When you're good at. When it's your girl, they support you in stuff that they don't even agree with.
Yes.
So, yeah. Is there anything I have done in the past week that may have unknowingly hurt you? You don't need to answer that. So I think what they're saying is, just ask, and I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. Just ask if there's anything you've done that you might not have realized, upset her.
Yeah, you need to ask that, because sometimes women don't say anything. Like, there is, I used to be the outspoken person, and I am, but I'm learning to, like, sometimes shut my mouth on certain things, just because if it leads into an argument, Yeah. But, I think we've been doing a lot better.
I think we have.
I explained to him what I had an issue with, and he's taking care of that, and I really don't have any complaints, and I think that should be, showing him, like, if I just listen to her, not about everything, but like we come to an agreement about stuff, and she's not going to be super upset about it.
Yeah. Also, guys, when you ask that question, be prepared to communicate. You can't ask and then not listen to what she's saying. And then you can't overtalk her when you feel like, well, I do that. If she's saying it, then she obviously feels like you don't. Like,
make sure you're not in your feelings.
Like I always tell my wife, a person's perception is their truth. So if somebody's telling you this is how they feel or see how things go, then that's what they really believe. So y'all need to have that communication, and y'all need to try to work on that. Not saying I'm the greatest, because trust me, I think I've come a long way, but I still got a long way to go. I'm working though. Y'all might hear me say that a lot. I'm working. All right. When you come home from work, ask your wife or significant other, even if you got a long-time girlfriend, whatever, what can I do or say that will make you feel most love?
That all falls back into what we said on another video about just showing me it. It's not even really saying it. It's showing me. Or if a wife does stay at home, that's fine. And wives, we need to allow them to relax and stuff like that. But at the same time, just if you do have a wife that stays at home, don't just not help her at all.
Yeah.
We have a thing where he does the homework. He's a better math person than me, which I I gotta get grades in math. That wasn't my problem. But once I forgot the formulas, that's it. And so I can't help the kids. And this new age math is something totally different.
Is they're doing algebra earlier, and they come home without the formula.
Or the books. Like, they don't even let these kids bring the books home. Formula
before you can help.
Yeah, so just kind of come up with a routine of what you do and then stick to that. If you are just really, really tired, just tell your wife, like, today I'm just tired. Like, I can maybe do the homework because I know you don't normally do that, but other than that, I just want to chill today. But just communicate. And the wives, y'all can't get mad about every little thing. Like, let them chill.
Yeah. Number 5. Is there any kind of physical touch that I can engage in more that helps you feel loved? Now, let me say this real quick before you answer. I used to tell my wife all the time, you too lovey-dovey. You don't gotta hold hands all the time. You don't gotta, you don't gotta give me a kiss all the time. You don't gotta hug me.
He used to tell me
Now I wish I didn't say that, because I feel like I'm the one always trying to hold hands and give her a kiss and hug her, and then she be kind of like,
I don't do that all the time. He's like really, really lovey-dovey now, and I just find it funny because when I was doing that, he had a problem. But I would say we were in different stages in our relationship. He had to grow a little bit.
I always loved her.
Yeah, he always loved me, but it was just, sometimes it was just coming out of just fussing with each other all the time and stuff like that, because a lot of the drama or whatever. But now we're at like a total different stage in our relationship, and now he realized how important that is and how much he does
very important, guys.
But I didn't even get to answer the question.
Sorry, go ahead.
It says, what kind of physical touch, what?
Is there any kind of physical touch that I can engage in more that helps you feel loved? And I don't think they mean like that's going to get me, some...
For me, it's like when we're not the happiest or kind of like into it a little bit. Yeah, to just be a little more compassionate. A lot of times when people get in arguments, you be in your feelings and you just want to then kind of hurt each other. But sometimes just taking the time to be like, okay, I hear you. I'm not sure, what I did wrong, but I hear you. Or just kind of like holding their hand or hugging them. That's what I would like for him, because, he's touchy-feely already. I had to tell him to stop smacking my butt every time I pass him. Like...
That's a guy thing.
That's definitely a guy thing.
Rather couples admit it, rather women out there watching this like, my husband. Y'all know at home, that's a guy thing.
That's definitely a guy thing. So that's not like for me that I'm like, okay, yeah, I want you to smack my butt. It's not for me or anything like that. But just kind of just more taking the time and kind of holding your wife or hugging her.
Even, and I understand what she's saying. That doesn't mean I can do it every time. I understand what she's saying, but when I'm listen to what I say, not what I tell you that I do. When y'all arguing, maybe if you just stop talking and grab her and hug her, embrace her, and then maybe when y'all heads have cooled later on in the day, y'all can then try to finish that conversation. Okay?
I agree. Or you can just take the time to just listen. I guess it depends on how the argument started. I get what he's saying, because if y'all not in the right mindset to receive each other, then maybe y'all need to chill. But like he said, that's a good idea, to just hug them, to let them know, like, I'm going to be ready to talk to you, but right now maybe we just need to cool off a little bit. And then as women, we have to allow that. But for men, they have to come back and talk to us. Y'all don't sit there. Men just think, okay, let's just not talk about it. That just was...
Me, anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't work. That just...
It don't work.
Makes even more heated arguments later down the line, because y'all never work things out. So it's just about talking.
Yes.
Talking. Living that time to talk and receiving it.
Number 6. This one's interesting for me. I know the other part of it is cool. Well,
what's the question?
Let me say it. Do you think you'll need more closeness or more alone time over the next couple of days? For the second half, I'm not saying alone time as in she goes out of town with friends and they go for the weekend or for a week or whatever the case may be. I think it just means time to yourself, rather than come home and be all in your personal space all the time. Maybe you just got something you... Sorry. This is for you to answer.
If they were asking me right now, he's been off for a few days, so...
So she needs more alone time, y'all.
No, I would say that just so I can get my videos done. I seem to work better when he's not at home.
But I just be asleep nowadays, laying in the bed.
Yeah, and then I don't want to wake him, and my area that I record is in the room. So, yeah. But honestly, I do feel like maybe more closeness too, because we run and we see each other every day, but a lot of our running has to do with the kids and stuff like that. And so as far as like, we haven't like went away for the weekend in a long time. Like, we went to London recently, but we went with like a group of people, and we had like something to do every day. Yep. And so by the time we got back to the hotel room, we were just tired. And so sometimes I like our little weekend getaways and stuff. And you guys, let me tell y'all, don't feel guilty about going away for the weekend. I don't care if you plan a couple trips with your spouse. Do not feel guilty about leaving the kids. Don't feel guilty about leaving the kids or anything like that. We still make family time, and we are with the kids 24/7
constantly.
And so sometimes you do have to get away. You can't just go for a night and then come back home and all the kids is at home and think that that's enough. Like, it's not. It's okay to have that time with each other, because several people have told me at the end of the day, your kids are going to grow up and they're going to have their own lives, spending their own time with their spouse, and they're going to move out, and it's just going to be y'all too
with a lot of bitterness if y'all didn't take that time to build on, you know, what it is. And that's why I think if you look at it, you see all those relationships where once the kids moved out, all of a sudden the parents divorced and the kids don't know why.
Because they had problems the whole time.
They wasn't happy with each other, but y'all didn't know. They was good at keeping it from the kids. But like she said, you know, stuff we've been researching and paying attention to, it's good to try to spend at least one day a week together where it's just y'all two, and y'all can resolve any issues and build on y'all relationship, you know. Yeah,
or take a weekend too, because that just eliminates all the kids. You'll miss them, but trust me, it will mean something. You'll feel like kind of young again, or just feel like an adult. You kind of lose that when you're at home all the time.
And for the second part of that question, you know, where say alone time, it's okay for men or women to have friends. You know, if you want to have a girls' night, just make sure it's just a girls' night and no guys. If you want to have a guys' night, just make sure it's just guys and no girls. You know, it's okay to have friends, because that's a part of y'all still bonding with each other, because sometimes y'all need to be separate in order to come back together stronger. Not saying like just go away from days, you know, but
I wouldn't say suggest, you know, your relationship. I wouldn't suggest no weekends apart and stuff like that, and you around your youngs or your single friends and stuff. That's just wild. You gotta watch what you do with that. But yes, you always need that time to kind of remember who you are too, because sometimes that gets lost in a marriage with kids. And then when you look up and, like I said, your kids are gone, you realize I don't have no friends. I had friends, but I ain't seen them in I don't know how long. And that always matters.
And this might be tough right here. Sometimes if you got friends who are single, you might want to get friends that's in a relationship. That way you got somebody who understands that you can't always hang out. You're not always free like they are. You know what I mean? You got responsibilities, whether you got kids or not. You have a responsibility to your spouse. You know, so. Correct. Number 7. This one is tough, because I think I just got good at some of this. But now this is adding extra stuff. Is there any argument that we had this past week that you feel incomplete about? So we might have had an argument, talked, and I thought it was cool now that we talked about the argument, and you telling me, well, there was stuff in that argument I didn't feel I got to actually say or address.
I will say the wording. Basically, if it's an argument, y'all probably are going to feel incomplete about because you guys are arguing.
Yeah, yeah.
If I was communicating with you about an issue, that's different.
Okay.
But
because I was taking it as maybe there was an argument, we communicated about it, and we moved on, but you feel like there's still more communication that needed to be had. That's kind of how I was taking it.
I feel like the only time that will actually happen is when it's an argument and you didn't get out what you really needed and it wasn't received well, so you still feel incomplete about it. But I do suggest that if you guys are discussing something that's very difficult, you guys allow each other to talk, and then y'all need to come to an agreement of what can make this better, because I think that's what we was doing wrong for a long time. And now that it's like, okay, I feel like he heard me, and okay, you know, he might feel like if I just listened to her, she stopped fussing about it really, or she handled
actually listen.
Yeah, and she handled it a lot better than what I thought. You just gotta try it and really talk, and then come to an agreement.
Yep. Awesome. Yep. Number 8. Mom, mother-in-law, father-in-law, we all grown. Fast forward if you need to. How do you feel about our sex life lately? We don't need to answer
I apologize, parents that are watching. But I feel like ours is great. Like, I feel like we don't have that problem. We really don't. We listen to each other, and
I think since I've been trying to understand, it's about the things that lead up to it, not just it. You know, it's about helping with the kids, making sure the house is clean, making sure the chores is done, making sure she's not stressed about things,
making her feel important,
and she's being seen. I told you, I see you, girl. I see you.
Oh my
Watch
God.
Avatar. You know what I'm talking about.
Feeling important, like he said, because then she just feels like, okay, it's not just about that, because a lot of times a relationship, they don't do nothing for their girl or vice versa. She don't do nothing for her man, and then when that time comes, it's like, okay, that's all I want. Yeah. That's not
And
cool.
Valentine's Day, for the people who live their life on social media and they go all out. Look, I'm gonna do it one day, okay? I'm gonna do it one day.
He's done it.
My only question is this: when I see all that stuff, is who gonna clean all this up? And I see all the rose petals on the floor and all the stuff all over the bed, and unless y'all done that at a hotel, I don't know who's gonna clean this up. Because I was nice enough to do it. You're gonna have to pick it up.
See, that's wrong. But see, if you did all that, you'd be surprised. She'll probably help you clean it up anyway.
That's true. That's true. Number 9. What are the main stressors currently in your life? And is there any way I can alleviate the stress from you, if only a small amount? How can I help you not be stressed?
The kids need to do their chores.
I already saw them put on my board.
Yeah, the kids need to do their chores. And the other stressors, we both deal with that. Having a blended household. And it's not the blended household part. It's just a lot of the finances that comes with it, and a lot of the stuff that people don't realize we do take on without, we'll just say, little to no help. Not putting anybody down. That's on, you know,
no tea been spilled.
That's just
what it is.
It just is what it is. When we don't speak about it, we don't make the kids feel like that. We don't talk about anything. We just do what we have to do. But that has came with a lot of finance issues. And
like she was saying earlier about, you know, spending time together and being busy and all that stuff. I work literally less than 10 minutes from my house to my job, okay? But when we both was working full time and she got to work at 6 a.m. and I had to take all the kids where they need to go, Google Maps who was stalking me every morning will let me know it's going to be 48 minutes till you get to work. Every morning, because I had to leave, and I didn't come back to the house. I just left and dropped everybody off where they need to go, and then I went to work. And it showed me the route I went every day, and ain't nobody help put gas. Never mind. We just...
Yeah. But like he said, if the finances come in, then sometimes, because, you know, when the kids want something, which our kids, trust me, they have a lot. And I mean, they have so much that they don't even know what they want for Christmas because they said they got everything. And
now there are some things they're not going to get.
Every now and then, exactly.
They just ain't getting it.
Exactly. And then every now and then, you know, when a kid just want the new shoe that drop. Not all the time we can get that. They might eventually get it, but we just can't get it right now. And sometimes that just, you know, kids don't understand that. So to them, they're like, "Oh, y'all don't do nothing."
I think we got some kids
get.
that do appreciate, and then like, listen, it's
some that might be just confused.
Some are going to understand, some
Mm-hmm.
not going to understand, and some are just feeling like, well, I don't know why.
And they just being kids. They just being kids. Sometimes you could sit there and go to every one of your games. They could be mad and be like, "You don't never come to my games." And I'm like, how you think you got to the game? But
as parents in the blended house, or just parents in general, keep doing what you feel is best, and don't break your neck or try to do whatever to make your kid happy and be their friend. Be their parent first, and then their friend. Right?
Exactly, and they're going to appreciate that later down the line. I know we kind of get on subject, but this is going to be good for our blended households. Like, they're going to appreciate everything that you do later down the line, because if we gave kids everything they want, we might be raising some like super spoiled kids. They don't need everything. We didn't have everything. We still appreciated our parents. But sometimes you give them everything and then they don't even appreciate you.
And it's like they disrespect you even more.
Yeah, exactly. So. And don't let the outside, you know, you're going to deal with things in the outside of people, whether it's school, other parents, whatever. You're going to deal with that. But just keep your ground and you stay true to yourself. Don't be petty. Don't sit there. Do not talk about the other parent to the kids and all this stuff. Do not do that. Don't talk about other people to them, because you might think it's helping you or helping them love you even more, but honestly, they're going to resent you for that. Like they're going to be upset. They might not see it now,
especially once they realize what was going on.
And it's no need to. It's really no need to.
Yeah. So number 10. Final question or whatever. When do you find speaking difficult, and how can I best support you through those moments?
Speaking difficult, like to you?
Yeah, I think like, when is it hardest to speak to me?
When he's upset, or
what about when you're upset? Do you think you can speak to me when you're upset?
I definitely can, because honestly, I might come off just like just fussing
a million miles an hour.
Yeah, and then he does not receive that well at all. Yeah. I don't get anywhere with that. So I sometimes mumble under my breath. But honestly, he does not receive if I'm super upset. I have to be in the right mindset, and
everything is about approach, whether it's with one another or others.
You ain't perfect.
I know that.
I know. I mean, listen, like we're not.
I've been telling you, I'm working. Okay.
We're not perfect, so at times we do that, and it's not good for the other person to act on that too. Yeah. Somebody got to be the more reasonable person. Y'all both can't be acting a monkey out here and just flipping out on each other.
And one thing to throw in there, it's hard, but even if somebody does come at you a million miles an hour in y'all relationship and they're saying stuff you don't agree with, that don't give you the right to then say something to try and make them mad. Something you've been holding back, waiting, like, yep, see, I knew you was going to go there, so I had this in my back pocket. Just hold your peace and
if you had something in your back pocket
anyways,
you should have said that when you had an issue with it. That's the number one thing, and why people get into big arguments is because you held all that stuff in. Y'all need to learn how to talk about the issues, whether you have to, at the end of the week, take a bath together. It's very relaxing, they say that, and then you can just ask each other, like, was there anything that I did? Is there? And then
y'all can go back through these 10 questions.
Yeah, and go through that, because that's the most relaxing time. You guys never need, I mean, you guys never should talk during a like heated moment. You should talk when it's cool, whether it's going out to eat. But if you feel like you finna cry in that conversation, y'all, don't go out to eat in public. Crying at the table and stuff like that. But I suggest like bath, because it's very soothing. You guys can talk to each other.
Just
you guys
sure
are in
y'all
a better space.
In the bath. Get y'all,
if y'all got a big old tub.
Y'all might have to sit facing each other if y'all can't sit no other way.
Yeah, something relaxing. Something relaxing, and just talk to each other, and then go from there. And then once y'all talk about that and it's good, move on. Now, if something comes back up that's kind of like that situation, you can just say, see, remember when I told you about this? This is what I'm talking about. Because sometimes they might have not seen it. And then sometimes when you bring it to their attention, then the next time it happens, they're going to be like, oh, man. Like, I see it now. Sometimes you have to kind of just tell somebody how you feel for them to see it. Because they might have not noticed it. They might have not seen it then or whatever. But you have to learn to not argue about it and be upset about it, because it don't work.
Yeah. Well, after talking about these 10 questions, I think these were kind of neutral questions. Some might have been a little toward women, some might have been a little toward men, but I think that's pretty neutral for the most part. I think it was really good, and if y'all trying, these are some good questions. Hopefully, we've helped somebody. Hopefully, y'all can take some of these and just implement them. I be trying.
I'm going to switch these questions up on him the next episode for all the ladies out there. Because this video is more so for the men.
Yes. Help us men out. She's giving you some knowledge. As them pimps say, I'm giving you some game.
Oh my goodness. That's that good game, though, y'all. That's that good game. That's going to get you married right there. No.
So if you don't want to be married, don't listen.
Or make you stay married, whatever.
Yeah. It's good though. It's nice to talk. It's nice to talk with your spouse and know that y'all on the same page. Because that's what it's about at the end of the day. Find a way to get on that same page. So, till next time, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed. Peace.